January 30th, 1945. The Baltic Sea. Dark, icy, silent. A ship moves through the freezing waters. On board, thousands of people, families, children, wounded soldiers, refugees, all hoping to survive. They didn't know that within a few hours they would become part of the deadliest maritime disaster in history. The Wilhelm Gustloff. You've heard of the Titanic, but this disaster was far deadlier, not by fame, but by sheer scale. It is January 1945. World War II is drawing to a close. Nazi Germany is collapsing. The Red Army is advancing from the east rapidly. Cities are falling. Civilians are panicking, fleeing. To save lives, Germany initiates Operation Hannibal, one of the largest sea evacuations in history. Ships are leaving ports, carrying soldiers, refugees, women, children, all heading west into the uncertain safety of the Baltic Sea. The Wilhelm Gustloff, originally a luxury cruise liner, built in the 1930s, designed to carry a few hundred passengers in comfort. By 1945, it had been transformed into an evacuation ship. Designed capacity was 1,500, but actual onboard over 10,000. A floating city, overcrowded, vulnerable, heading into icy waters. Among the passengers, wounded soldiers, nurses, families, elderly, and countless children. Cabins, corridors, decks, jammed beyond capacity. A single mistake or miscalculation could cost thousands of lives. And the sea that night was merciless. Baltic Sea, January 30th, 1945. Temperatures below freezing, ice forming on deck, and darkness almost absolute. The ship moves slowly, lights kept on so it doesn't collide with other vessels. A small decision that makes it visible to enemy forces. Beneath the icy surface, a Soviet submarine patrolled, commanded by Captain Alexander Marinsko, scanning for German vessels. And then, through the darkness, a large ship appears. Lights on, movement steady, target acquired. They do not know that civilians make up the majority. Around 9 p.m., torpedoes are launched. 1, 2, 3. Explosions rip through the hull. The ship shudders violently. Passengers scream. Corridors fill with smoke and water. Chaos erupts. People rush to lifeboats, but the overcrowding makes it impossible. Some lifeboats jam, some are damaged, and many launch half-filled. Mothers clutch their children, people stumble, fall, and the freezing sea waits. Hypothermia sets in within minutes. Water temperature below 2 degrees Celsius, a single immersion is often fatal. Thousands fall into the water, limbs numb, muscles fail, bodies sink. The cold is silent, relentless, merciless. The Baltic Sea claims them before they can even scream. Inside, the ship begins to list. Water rushes through doors and hallways. People are trapped, corridors collapse, and the decks tilt dramatically. 40 minutes after the first torpedo, the Wilhelm Gustloff disappears beneath the icy waves. Estimated deaths around 9,000. Compared to Titanic, 1,500 deaths. This is 6 times larger. Yet, this disaster remains largely unknown. It happened during the final chaotic months of World War II. Victims were mostly German civilians. News flow was controlled. History focused elsewhere. And so, the deadliest maritime disaster faded from collective memory. Imagine the panic. A mother clutching her child. A soldier desperately trying to save someone he doesn't know. Families torn apart, all within the span of 40 minutes. Some survived, many did not. For Captain Marinsko, it was a military success. Rules of war followed, but history tells us the civilians paid the price, and yet they are largely forgotten. Rescue ships arrived, but most passengers had already perished. Icy waters, limited visibility, few could be saved. The sea held their victims, a silent frozen grave. Wilhelm Gustloff is more than a shipwreck. It is a reminder that the greatest losses of war often happen to those who fight no battles. Civilians, innocent, caught in the crossfire, or in this case, beneath the icy waves. Even today, the wreck lies at the bottom of the Baltic Sea, a memorial, a cautionary tale, and a story of human vulnerability. History teaches us about strategy, battles, victories, but sometimes the greatest tragedies are quietly submerged. Beneath the cold waters of the Baltic Sea, a silent grave remains. Thousands of voices, stories never told, yet forever remembered by the sea. The Wilhelm Gustloff, history's deadliest shipwreck, and a reminder of war's unseen victims. So the question is, in wars and disasters, when the innocent pay the price, are we truly remembering them or letting their stories sink into silence?